In the U.S., between 2 and 5% of children will develop scoliosis. That's when the spine curves. However, it is very treatable, and treatments can range from physical therapy to a spinal fusion. And as families gather for the holidays, it's a perfect time to get eyes on everybody and look for the warning signs. And our next guests are all very familiar with this. Dr. Michelle Wellborn is an orthopedic surgeon and spine specialist at Shriners Children's Portland. Kira Caldwell is her patient, and Beth Caldwell is Kira's mom. Hello, thank you all for being here.
Hi,
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
So Kira, I want to start with you. You had the spinal fusion surgery, but I want you to take us back a couple years when you first got the diagnosis and what that was like.
Yes, so I was diagnosed as a competitive dancer. I've been dancing since I was 2 years old, and I've been on my studio's performing team for 10 years now, and I've just had this back pain that was like unexplainable. We didn't know what was wrong with me, and one time at a well-child checkup with my pediatrician, he screened me for scoliosis, and that was the first time he's ever done that. And we found out that he thought it was a curvature around 30 degrees, so he wasn't really concerned about it. But my mom and I, we knew somebody who had scoliosis and actually had fusion with Dr. Wellborn, and so we wanted to get that checked out. So
wow.
We went to Shriners Children's, and that's when we kind of started from there.
Yeah. Well, Beth, what was the experience like at Shriners Children's once you went up there?
It was absolutely amazing. Again, like Kira said, we were very lucky that she had a dancing friend who had been a patient of Dr. Wellborn's, and they highly recommended her in Shriners Children's. And so we started our journey there, and we just immediately knew that we were in great hands with Dr. Wellborn, and they took very good care of her, and we're just happy that she's now given a new lease on life.
Yeah. Dr. Wellborn, why is it so important to catch scoliosis early?
Well, for people like Kira, so if we can catch scoliosis early, then there's lots of treatments, including bracing. There's things like Schroth physical therapy, lots of different options for treatment early on. When patients are older like Kira, at that point, our options become a little bit more limited. So at that point, we're thinking about things like surgical intervention. And we've got a few different tricks up our sleeve, but it's certainly a different situation.
Well, so what should parents be looking for?
Absolutely. And so in Portland, I joke about sweater weather because all winter long we're wearing bulky coats, and it can be really hard to see scoliosis. So there is a wonderful app called Spine Screen.
Yes.
You can download that onto your phone, and literally you just take your phone and you run it on your kid's back, and it can give you an idea as to whether or not they've got a curve that needs to be checked out.
Yeah, and so we're kind of seeing what parents would see on the app. It really like walks you step by step, right?
It does.
And do kids get checked? I mean, I remember being checked in middle school, and it was like this humiliating experience.
Wow.
Does that still happen regularly in schools, though?
Yeah, so not always. It
Yeah.
depends on the school. It depends on the state. Some states do it, and some states don't. And so I think really just having that awareness, looking and making sure that you're checking your kid, especially if you have a family history of scoliosis, because early detection really does open up a lot of doors for treatment.
And so, Kira, you had the spinal fusion, but you've also gone through a lot of physical therapy. I know that was really helpful to your recovery as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I had a couple of physical therapy appointments, and I feel like that really helped me get to where I am today, with also the help of Dr. Wellborn and my family and Shriners Children's and the patience of my dance coaches, and I feel like I couldn't have done it without them.
Yeah. And you're back to dancing.
Yes, I'm back to dancing, and I can basically do everything I could do before, even with 2 metal rods in my spine. Yeah.
That's amazing. And so is a progress like Kira's common, if, like you said, if you catch it early?
Yeah, so it's interesting. We've actually been able to show that up to 80% of teens will return to the same level of activity after surgery. And really working with that physical therapy team has been huge. We've developed a whole program for our patients, especially our athletes, to get them back to sport and to get them back at a similar level of competition. Kira in particular, though, is amazing. I mean, she's an incredible dancer, and just, it's been a joy to take care of her and her family.
Oh, Oh, wonderful. Well, yes, I'm glad that you're back to dancing, and I'm glad that you had this great experience up at Shriners Children's. Where can people learn more about your program?
Yeah, so the Shriners Children's website is an incredible resource for people, and so you've got that listed on the screen, shrinerschildren.org. We also are on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can also call. We're happy to have patients self-refer or have your physician send you on over.
And the Spine Screen app, that can be downloaded in the Google Play or the Apple Store.
Exactly.
All right, thank you all for being here.
Thank you for having us.
All right.